In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips on what your daily practice should be if you want to be a successful investor. In a few of my other videos, as well as in my book, I refer to the daily practice, the importance of having a daily practice in order to be a successful investor. And in this video, I'm going to give some tips about that. What does that daily practice look like? I will assume that you have already set a goal for yourself, and maybe it's even, if you read my book, I refer to them as a FIAT goal, F-I-A-T, which is an acronym that stands for, F stands for focusing, something that will help you stay on track and know when you're deviating from your goal. I is for inspiring, which is something that will be an inspiration for you to do tasks and do work towards your goal. The third A is achieving, which means that you're going to really have a sense of accomplishment once you reach that goal. So it's just something that will be slightly out of reach. And finally, T is something that's trackable, where you can track your progress towards your goal. That way it makes it a lot more motivating for you to work and to do what's needed in order to achieve your goal. So that's the FIAT goal. So what is a daily practice? So daily practice is a daily routine that you do that will help you stay focused and get you motivated for the day in order to get you closer to your goal. I believe that the daily practice should really start early, involve some moderate physical exercise to get your body going and functioning properly, and then finally 20-30 minutes of free thinking time just by yourself, hopefully in a quiet place. So why is this daily practice so important? Well, we're bombarded daily with all kinds of advertising. We're talked about work, like emails, phone calls, texts, and then you have the social media like Facebook, like Instagram, TikTok, I guess. But you have all these things, all these distractions, these minor encroachment on your time, even though sometimes they seem very small, but they kind of drag you in, and they also kind of 15 seconds at a time, they just eat up at your time. And that's your time. This is the time that you should be focusing on your goal and getting your investment and whatever you need to do in order to be successful, to get that in order and get that working, and then understand what needs to be done next. So that's why I think it's important to start early in the morning. So waking up early in the morning, I think it's critical. As soon as you get started into and open up your device or open up your email and all of that, it does a few things, but mostly it actually interferes or starts already interfering with your mindset. So that's why it's important to carve this 20 to 30 minutes just before you get into all of that, so you have a clear mind and a fresh mind. Some people want to do it at the end of the day. I think that would be in addition. I think if you want to do one in the morning, then you can do maybe one in the evening. The problem with the evening is that a lot of things happen in the evening. At the end of the day, sometimes the end of your workday gets extended. Sometimes you have other dinner invitation or bar invitation. I know we're in the state of COVID right now, so it's a little bit hard to be distracted after work. But I mean, this is what happened, what life is. Life happens really after that. So that's why it's important. If you want to carve out some time, do it early in the morning. If you want to have another one, kind of like a recap at the end of the day, this is great, but this should be in addition to your initial daily routine in the morning. And research has shown that the first few hours of the morning is when your mind is the freshest. Basically, the evening or the night sleep has really cleared out a lot of, and cleaned up a lot of the thoughts, meandering thoughts that were left at the end of the day. So this is why the morning is great, and you have a fresh mind that you can really have maybe some of your best thinking, and it makes it easier for you to stay on task. So what I think about it, it's kind of like your mind is kind of like a whiteboard, and then when you wake up in the morning you have a clean whiteboard, and then if you start working on other things like emails and stuff like that, so this is like kind of smearing that whiteboard. If you do your 20-30 minutes after that of free time, then what happens is like writing on top of a dirty whiteboard that has all kinds of writing already on it. It's hard to focus. You can see the other writing that is there. So this is why, whiteboard. So I think I made my point, so let's move on to the next step. So what does that daily routine look like? What do we think about? What do you do during that 20 to 30 minutes? So what I do is I take a piece of white paper, just actually like plain printer paper, no line even, so that I'm really free to draw and do whatever I want. And I've picked my favorite writing instrument. You can also do it on an iPad, that works as well. You can also, I prefer the physical aspect of writing. Sometimes it helps me think, but sometimes I also type because I think it's, for whatever reason, it's just the mood that I'm in. And that's all fine. This is not really that important. If whatever tool helps you think, if it's on a billboard, if you have a whiteboard, this is all fine. It's nice, you have to have a record of whatever you are thinking. If you are not recording it some way, it's going to make it and visually, so that you can see it and then you can do something with it, then it's not really that helpful. So this is something that's really important. So it's the writing part or typing part or whatever, recording part. Then you can put a timer. If you're not used to actually the timing of things, you're going to realize that 20 to 30 minutes is quite a long time if you've never done something like this. Put a timer, at least 20 minutes at first, to make sure that you spend that time. And even if you think you're done early, focus on the 20 minutes at least. And even if you're not thinking about anything else, you're just staring at a white piece of paper, in my opinion, is better than going straight to email. You're going to get used to that 20 minute, and then the next time it's going to be more and more productive. So you have your piece of paper, you have your timer, and then what happens is you start thinking, and then you feel that your mind is floating away towards a thought about work, a thought about some property, some problems, some etc. Right? So this is normal. So you just have to keep reminding yourself when these things happen, when your mind is floating away, is that, okay, there's plenty of time for that later on. I need to focus my mind 20 minutes on what my goals, my objectives for the day are. This is the 20 minutes. You have the rest of the 23 hours and whatever, 30 minutes left of the day to deal with everything else. So this is what you need to focus on. So normally that kind of helps you kind of like keep clear of these meandering thoughts and stay focused on the task at hand. So what do you think about during that 20 minutes of daily practice? In my book, I have a strategy alignment triangle, which is a tool that basically ensures that your strategy, that your resources, that your market that you're going after are aligned to achieve your goal. So this is obviously something that's really important, and this is something that I use in my daily practice when I do think about my objectives and whether I'm in line with my goal. By the way, if you want a free copy of my book, you can go on marteleric.com/giveaway. And you enter your email address, and I will send you a free copy of my ebook that is on Amazon right now for $10. So, but you're gonna get it for free. Just go to marteleric/giveaway, and then give me your email address, and I'll send you a copy. So now that you have this triangle, so the first thing that we want to look at, so the triangle, just to visualize, at the top of the triangle is kind of the strategy of how you're planning to reach your goal. Then we have on the bottom right hand corner of the triangle is the resources, which basically means time, means capital or money, and capabilities, which are basically either your skills, your personal skills and knowledge, or being able to bring somebody to help you with the skills and knowledge gaps that you might have. And finally, on the bottom left-hand corner of the triangle, you have the market. So this is kind of like your investment criteria, where you're going to look for investment opportunities, etc. And basically during that 20 minutes, I'm asking myself, is what I'm doing right now, I'm confirming that my strategy, what I'm planning to do in order to achieve my goal, it is still aligned with that goal. So really confirming that this is the right thing to do, basically. So if I decide to, for example, to invest in turnkey rental properties, and talk about that a lot, but if I decide to invest in turnkey rental properties, I want to make sure that this still is aligned with my goal of achieving financial freedom, for example. If I'm saying, if I have another strategy, let's say that's in place, and it's about buying an apartment building and then renovating it and then refinancing it, then is this still in line with my goal of achieving passive income or financial freedom? So these are the things that you have to look at. Both of these are quite valid ways to achieve financial freedom or whatever goal you might have, but the thing is really confirming that this strategy is still something that is aligned with your goal. Then I start looking at the resources that I have. Time, for example. Is my time commitment, was I able to commit the time that I was supposed to commit to this, to that strategy? Do I have too much time, not enough time? So where are the time constraints associated with that, and how do I resolve that? Then we have capital or money. Do I have enough capital for this? What are some of the issues that maybe you found with respect to achieving or getting enough capital to invest in that strategy? Then we look at capabilities. So is there any kind of roadblock or challenges that you face in terms of capabilities, in terms of the skills and knowledge? Do you have any gaps in there, things that you don't understand, questions and stuff like that? So it's really about kind of listing, and then you write all of that down. And then we look at market. We look at, okay, well, is this the right market? Am I looking in the right area? Are my investment criteria correct? Should I go for a more expensive property, a less expensive property, a different cap rate, you know, you name it. So, but really tweaking these, looking at these and saying, identifying challenges and areas where your strategy is being challenged because of the markets or the resources that you need in order to achieve that goal. Right, and then in general, kind of what are some of the challenges of your strategy in general? Most of the time they're captured by markets and by the resources that we talked about, but sometimes there might be other things that are more open to the strategy itself that you need to address. So really it's looking at all the challenges that need to happen or things that need to be done in order to execute your strategy. So you have a lot of writing done on your paper or your iPad or wherever you're writing, and then the last 5 minutes really you should focus on prioritizing. Pick three to five items, objectives that you need to do for the day, and then kind of focus on that. So this is really prioritizing what is important for the day. Sometimes some of these things, some of these objectives or these challenges that you've looked at, it's going to take more than a day to basically complete and resolve. So, but put that as a heading and then put some tasks that you need to do today in order to actually resolve that issue. So you maybe, I need to figure out financing. Then you would say, okay, well, I'm going to call my bank. I'm going to ask another investor that's very successful where he's getting his financing for his properties, blah, 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 right? So I have some tasks, specific tasks that I can do today to maybe resolve that issue, that overall challenge in the future, in the near future. But really, that's you need to have something that is really focusing your attention for today, things that you need to work on today. You don't want to take too much either, too many tasks either, because they may not get done, or you have work to do as well, maybe. So that's my recommendations. 3 to 5 seems to be a good number. So just to give you a couple of illustrations or example of where we've used these daily practice and how we used it. At the beginning, when we started looking at investing in real estate, we were looking at flipping houses in San Francisco Bay Area, and basically the areas we couldn't find really deals. I mean, the market was hot and is still kind of pretty pricey today, but really we couldn't find any deals. The prices were too high, and then when we were factoring in everything else, there was really not enough money in it for us. So the returns were not very good. So we started kind of like looking at, okay, focusing on the resources. What do we need on the resources? We also look at market. So when we focused on the market, we kind of identified other markets that were a little bit less expensive, where we can go in and really explore that a little bit better. They were a little bit less pricey, and there was also expansion of the train lines and all of that. There were also more development or business that were being established, let's say in Oakland or Livermore area. So we thought that this would help with an increase in interest in that particular area, and then that would actually had a good opportunity for a flip. In terms of resources, we also had identified that we didn't know, we don't have a construction company, we don't really know construction, we don't have any good relationship with construction companies or contractors. So we needed to establish that or partner up with somebody that knew that business. So I had a friend that had done renovations, that was working with contractors on a daily basis, and even he had challenges of his own working with contractors. So I contacted him, and then we said, okay, well, when we have an opportunity, I'll find the opportunity, I'll kind of like put the deal together, and if you're interested, then we can partner up. You handle the construction aspect of it, and then we'll handle everything else. These are the kind of things where you can increase your capabilities. You may not have the skills or the resources to do that, but if you find you can partner up with somebody on a deal-by-deal basis in order to bridge that gap there. So I hope you found this video helpful. I think you're going to find your own kind of balance on what you're going to talk about and what you're going to think about when you are in your 20 to 30 minutes of daily practice. What is important here is that this works not just for real estate investing. It works for every other aspects of investment in businesses. If you're running your business, or if you're the CEO of a company or a manager of a department within a company and stuff like that, this is an important tool to be able to focus on the goals and your objectives for yourself, your own. You can also use that obviously for your business and for the people you work for, but there's plenty of time for that. You need time, you need to carve out some time for yourself to achieve your own personal goal. This is something that's very important. But this works in real estate, this works if on any kind of investment that you want to do. So again, focus on resources, focus on your market and your business, your operations, and then the strategy. The strategy is still working for you. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, you learned something, and you have a better understanding of what I mean when I talk about daily practice in other videos. I think this is a very good practice to implement for your daily life, for you to achieve your goal. If you like this video, make sure you click the thumbs up. If you are interested in financial freedom, real estate investing, or investing in general, or in anything business related, you can watch the rest of the videos on my channel, and make sure you subscribe and that you like my videos. This really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget, I also mentioned the book giveaway. Again, this is a $10 book right now on Amazon, and if you go on my website, marteleric.com/giveaway, and you give me your email address, I will send you a free copy of my ebook or Kindle ebook to your mailbox. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you very much.